Welcome to the video. My name is David, and today we're going to be talking about how I've completed a 90-day challenge of carnivore diet. All right, so just to start out, I'm not really an expert on diets or carnivore or anything food and diet related at all. It's just me going to tell a story about stuff that I've done or accomplished or whatever you want to call it. So I'll first just start out by saying I have done a lot of different diets. I've done different companies, things. I mentioned like isogenics was a thing that I did where you're like doing a lot of cleansing and following this product regimen. I've done calorie counting where I just used my Fitness Pal and counted calories. I didn't even know how many calories I should be having. I just knew to keep the calories low. I got to a point where I was eating like a quarter pounder for a meal. Like it was just starving myself. I didn't really know what I was doing. But then I got more involved with YouTube, looking at different videos about different diets, and I tried all sorts of different ways because I've always struggled with my diet. Even when I was in the military, I still struggled with my weight. Of course, I didn't really do anything smart. Sometimes I would eat a whole package of Oreos in a night, and that would be my dinner while I was on shift as a police officer. So I go on to say I have failed so many times with my weight. But luckily, the military kind of forced me to stay in some decent shape, but I was never one of the healthier or more fit people that I worked with. I was always in the lower end of fitness. Anyways, after I got out, I didn't change. The only thing that changed was I stopped working out as much as I used to and started putting on the weight. And like everybody, 2020, I put on a little bit more weight than I do most years. And so when I got on the scale one time, I realized that it was time to do something. It was like January. It was about April 2021 is when I noticed that it was getting bad. I weighed in on a scale and got up to notice that I had gotten up to 272 pounds. Now I'm 6'2", and I can carry some weight and I guess not look too big, but to me it just felt pretty bad. I think at the the fittest I had ever been, which I would probably say the healthiest, was when I was in my early 20s. I was down about 190, 180, 190. I spent a whole deployment of 6 months just exercising and eating chicken and green beans and rice, just super bland, and just protein shakes and bars. And I just dedicated my life. It was all I ate every single day, and it was a boring life. It didn't even taste good. But in April of 2021, I weighed in 272 pounds. And I started a new diet called whole food plant-based. I watched all these doctors, I watched all these documentaries, I watched all this stuff about getting rid of animal food and how it's bad for your heart and all that stuff. And it may be true, I don't know. But the books and stuff, the documentaries, they all seem fairly compelling. And I did that diet. There were some good parts. I found fruits, and mainly fruits were good. I didn't really find much else about the diet to be good. I did like hummus and I did like bread. But the whole thing was you couldn't use any oil, so if anything I wanted to saute or fry, I had to use water in the pan. And it was kind of challenging, but what I found myself doing the whole time was trying to find a way to make the food taste like good food. It was plants, vegetables, and stuff, just trying to find a way to make it taste good. Eventually, I took to that diet for quite a while, and I got down to about 204 pounds. So I lost quite a bit of weight. But then life came, and I went off of it. I ate a cheeseburger And then one thing led to another. And I can't say for sure that it's because plant-based just sucked, or if it was because of my eating habits, my addiction to carbohydrates. Because there have been times in the past where I did really good when I was starving myself doing the calorie counting. And I would lose all kinds of weight, and then I would make an exception and cheat just this one time, but then never be able to get off of the cheating wagon. And I would say, oh, it's just this meal, it's just this weekend, it's just this month, it's just this year. I'll get back to my diet someday. But that's kind of what happened in this scenario as well. When I went to a wedding, had some food at the wedding, and then just never went back to that plant-based diet. The challenging part that I found was that oftentimes you would go places and nobody cooked the way that fit the diet. So you kind of had to always eat at home, or else you would just never eat. The weight came back. I went back. I didn't go all the way back up to the 272, but I did get up into the 250s, which was discouraging. I played around with other things like intermittent fasting, and I actually went 4 days with eating no food and just drinking water. So I did pretty good at different things, keto and such. But my issue was that I was always trying to take what I was doing and make it taste better, or make it feel like I was eating my standard diet. Until I heard about carnivore. Now, my brother had told me about carnivore back, and I thought he was crazy, so I brushed him off. Years later, I'm starting to pay attention to it. So I started looking into carnivore. I started playing around with it. I thought it was crazy, but these doctors like Dr. Chafee, Dr. Kim Berry, and quite a few others, and other influencers that are constantly on YouTube talking about their experience and their diet and the studies and everything. They seem so convincing. So I did it. I started on the diet. Now, it only lasted for a little bit because some really big life events happened, and it was very hard for me to stick to it. I just started it maybe like a couple weeks. So I went off of it. And that was last year around July. And then I started back up. It was Christmas Day. We got through the holidays, and on Christmas Day at the nighttime, I had these peanut butter cookies. They're like my favorite thing in the whole world. I ate a whole bunch of peanut butter cookies, chugged it down with a whole bunch of milk, and then right afterwards said, okay, I'm being a carnivore. So that was December 25th, the night of December 25th. And I said, I'm going to at least do 90 days. I'm going to give it 90 days. I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to include any alcohol. I'm not going to include any dairy. The only thing I was going to let myself have was coffee, which I stopped doing some of that later on. But meat, eggs, butter, and water. Lots of carbonated water, because I just like it. Anyways, every week or so I'd get this craving to do something. Maybe eat a piece of cake or a cookie, or just get off the diet altogether. But I continued the challenge because I kept telling myself, you said you were going to do 90 days, do the 90 days. Well, I was able to do it. Yesterday was the 90th day, and I went the whole 90 days without cheating, except for there was one time I forgot that I wasn't eating dairy, and I ordered an omelet and forgot that omelets had cheese on it. And then one other time had deviled eggs at a family party, and the mayonnaise technically was not carnivore because it had other stuff in it that was a part of the deviled eggs, but it was almost perfect, which is way better than I can say for any other diet that I've ever been on. And then yesterday, the 90th day, it was Palm Sunday. So at church, I had communion with the cracker and juice for the bread and wine. which is the very first thing I had that had any sugar or carbohydrates or wheat or anything like that, which was, I thought was kind of apropos. And then I got home and I cut up a great big watermelon and I ate a bunch of watermelon, and it was filling and it was delicious. And then I went right back to the carnivore stuff because I like it. I'm not trying to make the meat taste better. I eat plenty of steak. I eat plenty of ground beef. And that's pretty much, and eggs. I eat plenty of eggs, maybe half a dozen eggs or so every day. And I like it. Sometimes now that I'm not doing the 90-day really strict, like today I had some cheese and with some ground beef. It made it good. I could go on and on about how I did the carnivore diet, but I'm not a carnivore expert. I just am experiencing the carnivore diet and the effects on me. I lost all the weight. I'm back down to 201. Anytime now, I'll probably be under 200 pounds. And this is the lowest I've been in over 10 years. So I feel pretty good. Again, there's people that make videos and their whole channel is dedicated to the carnivore diet. I really suggest that people take a look at those videos. I'll leave some links to some of the channels that I followed in the description, because I'm not going to go in as depth as they are with all of the studies and tracking everything that they did. I don't think that that's my expertise, but I thought I'd at least share the story because I don't know, it feels good. I don't feel like I ever need to quit, and I'm pretty sure my health is way better than what it was when I was eating candy bars and breakfast sandwiches from the gas station. It's a way better diet than what I had, and I think I can stick to this. And there's one of the doctors I watch on YouTube about carnivore diet, Sean Baker. He actually said that he's about 90, I forget what he said, 90 something percent strict on his carnivore diet, and every once in a while he has a birthday cake. So I figured, hey, if I be good and I get into a healthy weight, I'll have birthday cake every once in a while too. But anyways, if you have any questions about my experience with the carnivore diet, or you're trying to do carnivore diet, you just need a little bit of encouragement, I'd be happy to do that. I'll make another video if you guys have questions or anything. But if not, again, I don't know what this channel is going to turn into at some point, but this will probably be the last time I talk about carnivore diet very much, unless there's a lot of engagement or questions on this, and then who knows what future videos will hold. But for now, it'll probably be more like businessy, entrepreneur, money type of stuff. So, because that's kind of marketing stuff. But if this is what you'd rather me talk about, let me know. And if not, see you in the next video.